All right, guys, good morning to everybody. Today is the 1st of June, first day of the month. Crazy global market talk with KEL, crazy anytime, anywhere. Now, today in Singapore, it is a holiday. All right, good morning to everybody. Yes, yesterday was a Vesak Day, Buddha Day. So today, carry forward, is still a holiday. And of course, to me itself, as long as it's not a US holiday, I'm always around whenever I can. All right, so let's talk about the market for today. But before that, disclaimer apply as usual. Please do your risk management. Okay, so let's just talk about the fundamental of today's market. Now, first of all, Japan yield are at the highest level in 40 years, obviously. Why the yield is up? Because the bond price is down. And why the bond price is down? Because obviously the US and the Japanese, they also do what the US is doing, print, stimulate the economy, stock market at record level high. Now, Japan stock market have been staying below 30,000 for a long while. Then it broke above 30,000 and now it's 60,000. It's 100% gain. And all this parabolic run is because of obviously printing. And that is why the budget now, the red flag is making the market pretty nervous. And this is something that we cannot run away. And in fact, itself, you don't need to see Japan, you see Korea, you see Taiwan, all are going crazy with the stock market running at a very crazy level. Yeah. So all this tells you a lot of the current situation of the market. Now, South Korea stock market just hit a fresh new high, right? Despite the Iran war caution, the market doesn't matter. US and Iran still will deal to end war after Trump said he's not in a hurry. Obviously, he's not in a hurry because he has no idea what to do. And that's how he play around the words of his, play around his words. I mean, US is a very good diplomat, I tell you that. They really can turn around the situation. Even they're in the wrong side or the negative side, or the one that's not winning, they're able to turn. And that's fantastic for them. I tell you that. I have learned so much from them myself, honestly. Okay. And of course, the thing is this, other than that, there's no much big news at the moment. Oil export through the Strait of Hormuz might not return to the level since before Iran war, obviously, as long as the Strait of Hormuz is closed, technically it's not possible. Now, we do see a lot of this detail saying that some ships are ready to cross over. There are some indication. Now, all these have been seen and said, but nothing has been done. So of all these things, it's better to rely on what you see in front of you. The price action, today is better. All right. All right. So that will be the very little information for you today from the fundamental side. I don't see any big news. And of course, Berkshire Hathaway just made a $6.8 billion housing bet with Taylor Morrison deal. All right. This one carry on their own. I'll send the detail later. Okay. So let's look at the market right now, everybody. Let's take a look. Okay, all right. So let's look at the day chart first to begin with. Okay. All right, that's yeah. All right, seemingly I have some issues with the Zoom again. All right, last night we had this, it was okay. Okay, now it's better. Okay, let's take advantage of this right now while it's still okay. Okay, so today the gold market today opening price is 4540 below pivot 2. So this gives you a very strong classic sell signal. Yeah, very strong classic sell signal. Now, please ignore my price because it's not moving right now. I'm quite sure. All right, so just wait for a while. The other thing is this, today the moving average MA30 and MA200 is still above it. So this gives you a bearish sentiment. And of course, the KSI and the KCX are both bearish at the moment. So basically, almost everything is bearish on gold. And of course, using K trend, you notice that K trend tells you that the market is kind of weak at the moment. So it's getting lower, the yellow cluster. So today, unless the gold can go past this point, which is 4570 to 4573, only if gold can close above that, then the downtrend of gold is over. If not itself, right, the downtrend of gold is still intact. Very, very important aspect here. So if the candle turns red, they'll be selling because we've seen that whenever you have a lowering cluster yellow, all right, once the candle turns red color, it becomes a sell. All right, once then red color become a sell. Can you see that? So only if we see it turning red, then it will be a sell. If not, still not a good sell yet. Yeah, sell small is fine, but not a big sell. Now, how low can it go? Well, if it lows down, the first support will be MLP. The second support, it will be the KCL at 4507. And the third one will be the KCB at 4496. Now, do take note, 4496, the next KCB is quite far away, 4452, so nearly $44. So if the market do break below 4496 and close below 4496, we could see coming down all the way to 4452. Right, on the flip side, now the thing is this, if gold do recover, I believe the strongest resistance will be the MA30 because it comes together with the diamond line. Now, on Friday, we saw the market broke diamond line but failed to stay up. So that gives you a very strong indication that this market could be selling in the near term. Okay. So overall, I think the gold price is going to go down today. Now, fundamentally, how can gold price go down? Definitely, it will be inflation. Nothing to do with the war right now. Now, academically, we all know that when there's a war in Iran, Middle East, the gold price should go up. But because of the current situation now, is that the market is more fearful of the current inflation worry. So that is the reason why you can see the gold price actually going against the normal trend. Right. So if oil price do trade higher, like going above $92, you will see some pressure back on gold again. Okay, so that is the gold outlook for now, for today. Let's look at the next market, and that will be oil. Now, personally, I'm basically biased on oil because I believe that oil will be one of the catalysts that are going to push the market into a bit of selling mode. And of course, one thing to note is that for oil, the Strait of Hormuz until now hasn't been settled yet. And as I don't think there's any way this Donald Trump can, settle this problem. So, and all this tells me that, right, it's just a matter of time when both sides gather enough strength, especially for the Iran side, there could be a retaliation, yeah? So let's take a look right here now. You can see that how it works is that when it's a downtrend, okay, we look at the yellow candle cluster. So this yellow and this yellow compare. This one is actually higher, so there's no downtrend cluster or K trend at the moment. Now, if it's uptrend, you can see that if we have higher red, a higher red should be the one, but we can see right now the red is actually getting lower. So I don't think so. That means that there is really no much uptrend, downtrend at the moment for this crude oil based on the K trend. And today, as you can see, the opening price for crude oil is above MLP. And because of that, it's very now close to, if not at the pivot one. So I said that we should supposed to see upside soon because you have a KCX at the bottom, which tells you that the market is almost near the end of this downtrend. And now the market, if it breaks above pivot one convincingly, I think it's going to go towards here, and that's 96. Oh my God. So you can see right now the range is very big. Once the market crossed $91.91, the next target can be as high as $96. $96, what will happen to gold price? The gold price will definitely come down. That one is for sure. So because of all this, this tells me that I can look to buy some oil later. All right. Oil can buy because it's above OP. Second thing is that now it's testing the pivot one. Breaking above pivot one will be a very strong buy on oil. So traders look out for this. I believe that oil price could be trading higher this week. All right. Of course, that is my personal take. There's no much reason on that. Okay, I will do the seasonal pattern later if I have time. All right, but watch out for this. 91.91 breaks above 96 target. All right, that is oil. The next target I want to look at will be Dow Jones. Now, Dow Jones has broke 51,000. Now, not many years ago, about maybe 10, 15 years ago, there's this book called 50,000 Dow, and I think it finally hit. I just wish the writer has made some money from that. Now, Dow hitting 51,000 is something that I have not expected within this first 8 months. Okay, I expected it to happen maybe end of the year. So now the thing is this, now Dow hit 51,000, what's the take here? Now, first of all, if you look at the Dow Jones chart, all right, if you take a look, all right, when you see no diamond, just do a quick refresh and you're done. Okay, no need to do too much. Now you can see that the nearest diamond, it was early a month ago, whereby if you look at the diamond, if you put it in, you can see that, let's hang on a bit. Now this is the diamond line, and you can see the market did try to stay above, finally, eventually accepted it. And then after that, you can see it trade higher all the way up, right? So the diamond line now is here. There's no new diamond at the moment. So to me, you just have to wait, all right? So today, the opening price of this Dow Jones is 50,994. I traded up this morning, touches the pivot 2. You can see that it touched pivot 2 and then rebounded from there. So touching pivot 2 and rebound tells you that the market took pivot 2 rather seriously. So unless the market breaks below pivot 2, if not, the Dow is still going to stay up for a while. Okay. Now, Dow Jones today has to stay above the pivot 2. If the Dow don't stay above pivot 2, then the selling will bring it down all the way back to the moving average at 50,108. That's about 900 points away. Now, at the moment now, maybe it's not too easy to see a downside because now every dollar and cents is entering into the US market, primarily because of SpaceX, right? Everybody is banking that SpaceX will be the big payout master. Well, I will say that yes and no. For those who buy it long ago, or the pre-I, of course, you're gonna make a lot of money from selling at this during IPO day. But if you are going to buy on IPO day, I would think that the basic rule is simple: OP. If it stays over OP, fine. If it stays below OP, be careful. All right. I've seen this going wrong many times. I think traders, you should know that it's not advisable to just punt on the IPO day. Okay, so Dow Jones wise, the upside can be as high as 51,398. Downside is 50,938 for the first support, and the next support can be as crazy as MA30. Okay, now basically now for the market is still very bullish. You can see the market is staying bullish. So every pullback itself was a buy. So that's why you see, why am I not selling KSI? Because if KSI, you look at it very clearly, it tells you something that beyond what you can see in normal technical. Imagine when the price was coming down, MACD, stochastic Bollinger Bands was all coming down, yet our KSI is green. And this tells you that why the market will go up. And truth be told, on the next day, where everybody thinks the market is going to go up, it turns yellow and it was a buy. So you understand my point now? Why do I want to hold my KSI and not going to sell my KSI for any money? Yeah? All right, so then the last one I want to share with you is Tesla. I want to bring it to Tesla because I think this will definitely be the next baby that everybody want to buy onto. Now, Tesla, when the share was somewhere around here, I told you guys Tesla share will come down to somewhere here or even lower, about 380, but it didn't. And it was supported by the MA30, and you see that. And after that, you can see the very important sign is KSI all the way stay green. Now, the thing is this, Tesla from $450 drop all the way to $400, and yet the market can be KSI green. Come on, man, this is something crazy. So that is the reason why I believe that I have one of the most powerful two. Just like you say, it couldn't be fluke because when it came down back then here, where it came down, the KSI retained green. And after that, Tesla went all the way back again. So this is not even half surprise. So now the thing is this, why am I looking at Tesla? Well, we can see that it's coming down again with the boys selling. Okay, so there's some profit taking. And if the market do ever hit the high here itself, that will give you about 450. Do let me know, right? I think that is where if it's there and then it cannot go up, then this could be the start of the selling wave all the way down. Okay, for Tesla. All right, guys, so that will be all for today. I think, okay, someone wants me to do the NASDAQ. I'll do the NASDAQ for everybody. Hi, good morning to you, or those online. All right, this is the NASDAQ, and you can see very clearly. Now, this is a 90-degree. As you can see, we can see when this is halfway, that's 45. When you get steeper, that's about 35. Okay, so market going 35%, what does it mean? That means the market is going parabolic. And normally it won't end well. There will be one day slam dunk to clear down a few. And you can see there are multiple chocolate bars around here, I think all pretty small. So it's very possible to see a Black Hawk down to clear everything. All right. But of course, before that happens, more people will be sacrificed under the bus because the last 10 days, all the people who short NASDAQ are totally burned out by the market. Now, everybody asking me this question, where will the NASDAQ actually burn out, right? For now, I think we're now at 20,500. I think we're going to get a burnout soon, bring it back to 19,000. Yes, that's my personal take. And then from 9,000 all the way up again. I think this is going to be crazy. I don't know how high it will go, but I know that it will go very, very high. Okay. All right, guys. So that will be all for today. Thank you for watching in. Lesser fundamental means more time for technical. All right. Is there any more technical question you want to ask me? Let me know in the comment box before I exit the session. Basically, I'm very keen to buy oil, and I just bought oil. I just bought at $92. I think oil is gonna go up higher, so traders, you may want to watch out for that. Okay, that's all, guys. Thank you. Take care and have a great day. Bye bye.